So I had to relocate. But anyway, we're going to go to Galatians 5. And then we're going to read verse 1. And then skip down some. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ has made us free. Be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage, or the bondage of sin. We're going to skip down to verse 5. For we, through the Spirit, wait for the hope of righteousness by faith. So, that was loaded because you're waiting, you through the Spirit or the knowledge of the Scriptures, right? Because that's also a spirit. Wait or endure until the end for the hope. The hope of righteousness, so the reward for being faithful, right? For the hope of righteousness by faith. I'm going to skip to verse 22. Let me get this phone out of my way. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, meekness, and faith. Meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. So, anybody that does not have consideration for another person is considered lawless. That's what lawlessness is. Like, if you don't have love for somebody, you're not going to do what they tell you to do. Which means you're not going to follow guidelines given by them. You can't trespass on someone's lawn and think it's okay, because then there's not going to be any peace. That person's going to hurt you. When there's no peace, all of the other things go with it. When you're not peaceful in conversation and long suffering towards you is not there. Such as that. Basically, these are the laws. Love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance. Right? They're mental restrictions. So it's more than just it's not conflation, right? There's no need to conflate any of these ideas. They're mindsets. And if you don't have them, you're a lawless person. So a holy person is someone who abides by
children. If you're in the choir, meet back in the children's choir room.
Just like now.
Back in the children's choir room.
Just like now, the lack of law or the enforcement thereof results in children running around, eating nachos and dropping chips on the floor somewhere in some remote corner that I don't know about. And then they gonna scream on the microphone too. Like, come on now.
Lori, come on. We gotta practice.
We're wasting time, people.
All right, Lori, come on now.
We're wasting time.
We ain't got time to waste.
All right, Lori, come on now.
Can y'all hurry up and make this music? Like, for real, bro. What a power is, bro. Like, anyway. Philippians chapter 4. Philippians chapter 4, and we're going to start at verse 4. It's only like 2 books away, I think. Okay. Rejoice in the Lord always, because it's Old English. And again I say rejoice. Let your moderation be known unto all men. The Lord is at hand. Moderation, control, right? Temperance, self-control, okay? Lawful. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. This is commonly misunderstood. It doesn't mean don't care about anything. It's saying your mindset should not be careful of anything. Like there's just a saying as being too careful. Right? So don't worry about everything. Because I had a bad habit of doing that in the past. But part of maturity is not worrying about things you can't control. Right? What you can't control is yourself. So when you stop worrying about things that you have no control over, you start to rejoice. Because you're like, man, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And I might as well just let it flow. And I have complete control over my life. There's no reason to do anything but rejoice over that feeling. Knowing you have control over your life. And not having to be burdened with everything else. Only the situations that this book tells you to get into. We're going to skip down to verse 19. But my God shall supply all your need according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus. Sorry. Let me say that again. But my God shall supply all your need according to his riches and glory by Jesus Christ. So don't worry about it, because God's going to give it to you. Like, that's what it's saying. He's going to supply all your needs. Most people have food, water, and shelter, and they're talking about, oh, well, we have to make it to the next day, and what if we lose this and lose that? Well, you're never going to know. You can't look into the future. But you do have to plan, right? Stuff's not going to come to you, right? You still have to go to the store and buy food. Given the store's not closed down, you still have to make money, given that their job's still there. I'm not denying you have problems that arise in life, but to worry about it is futile. How you doing? Because most people are not going to deal with that ever. But they're the main ones complaining about stuff like this, you know? It means they don't have the spirit of faith, because they don't believe in the first place. It's not overconfidence to say that most likely we will have food, water, and shelter the next day, or money, or whatever. It's really all about how you work anyway. It has nothing to do with the faith in God, but you can believe in the fact that you can do it yourself. But I believe that God gives to all. You know, that's the thing they're missing. A lot of people are missing. Ephesians chapter 4, and we're going to start at verse 20. Ephesians 4 and verse 20. That's verse 10. Verse 20. But ye have not so learned Christ, if so be that you have heard him, and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Jesus, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. I had to soak that in for a minute. But anyway. And be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. So the old conversation, the old man, right? And here in my book, there's a T next to my conversation. So the translation is life, right? The T represents translation. So put off concerning the former life, the old man, right? Your life is what you do. So do different things. That's what it's saying. I believe a different life is found in obeying these commandments, because a lot of people come here living different lives, and they change, and they become people who do different things. Not that they're at a spiritual standpoint where they can say, I'm not out there in the streets doing things, you know. One last place, 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 13. Went right past it too. Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind, strengthen it in spirituality, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Jesus Christ, or the resurrection of Jesus Christ, right? Not this resurrection, that resurrection. Okay, revelation is also resurrection. As obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the former lust in your ignorance. Right? So if you don't lust after something, you're not going to go after it. You're going to go after something else. It's because something else interests you now. Because it is, verse 15. But as he which hath called you is holy, so be ye holy in all manner of conversation. Because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy. So you're trying to be like him. Or not be like him, you're trying to... You're a son or daughter of him. That's what you are. Him. In your mind. Him in mind, right? And if ye call on the Father, who without respect of persons judges according to every man's work, past the time of your sojourning here in fear. Right? So this life will end. Past the time of your sojourning in fear. Playing the music. Because afterwards, all you have is fear left. Like, when this life ends, nobody thinks about this. When this life ends, where are you going? So I fear him right now. And when you fear him, you obey him. You cannot obey him without fear. If you don't fear God right now, it means you're not going to do what he says. You're not going to do what somebody says if you love them. You're going to do it for them if you fear them, right? In other words, fear is respect. So it's a kind of love that has a I better do this or else kind of feeling, right? It's a deeper love. It's a love with boundaries. So if you don't follow these boundaries, these commandments of God with utter discipline, it means you don't fear him and you will not obey him. And I cannot get mad, hey, I'm not gonna get mad. I might end up in eternal punishment because I have the knowledge now. You know what I'm saying? I have the knowledge, so I can't get mad at nobody. But don't get mad at no one for your folly. Only you can send yourself to eternal punishment.